Hey guys, and welcome along to This Week in Photography, in which I search the internet for cool photography and drone related stories and provide some context and analysis by way of some much needed balance to the global marketing machine. And in this week's show, Capture One moved towards a subscription-only model, DJI launched the trimmed down Mini 3, Pixelmator 3.2 adds video editing, Adobe welcome AI images to the stock library, and why the iPhone 3GS's camera is lighting up TikTok. Believe it or not, it's been 10 years since Adobe stopped selling licenses to their software and moved to a subscription-only model. There was a massive outcry at the time, of course, but Adobe's applications, Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, Premiere Pro and so on, are industry standards, and most businesses, freelancers and hobbyists were forced to pay up for the monthly fees. Other companies like Microsoft were not far behind with the old subscription model, and before long the floodgates opened and seemingly every software company and app developer ditched single price software for the far more lucrative leased model. Personally speaking, I don't object to subscriptions for the big application suites, but I draw the line at paying $15 a year for my iPhone's fart generator app. When Adobe went subscription only, some people voted with their feet and switched to alternative applications. And one of the most popular choices in the photographic community was Capture One. Like Adobe Photoshop, Capture One Pro is aimed squarely at professional photographers and artists, and in particular studio photographers. Capture One Pro is a fully featured application with a massive database of camera and lens profiles, industry-leading tethered shooting tools, impressive RAW editing functions with AI adjustments, and remote collaboration tools. Many photographers who jump ship from Photoshop/Lightroom to Capture One boasted about how pleased they were with the software and with that subscription-free pricing. So it must come as a bit of a kick in the teeth now that Capture One is transitioning to a subscription-only model. They're pretending this isn't the case to stop pissing off some people, I guess, but it's pretty obvious to everyone where things are heading. At the moment, a monthly subscription to Capture One Pro costs 41 Australian dollars or 300 Australian for the cheaper annual option. Alternatively, you can buy the licensed version for 506 Australian dollars, which is a one-time payment. This week, however, Capture One announced that the licensed version would not include major software updates, just minor ones. So yes, while you would not incur any further charges as long as you use that software you bought, it wouldn't get any juicy new point release upgrades, just occasional interim bug fixes. If you own the licensed version and want those cool new features in that next point release, then you're going to have to pay again, mate. Although they will begrudgingly give you a 33% discount. And if you do the maths on that, you'll see that upgrading your licensed copy of Capture One every year with that 33% discount will cost you $340, which is $40 more than the annual subscription plan. Capture One have, no matter how they spin it, made the cost of their licensed one-time payment plan more expensive than the subscription version if you don't want to be stranded with a rapidly aging bit of software. Needless to say, there's been a bit of a kerfuffle about Capture One's announcement. Many of the photographers who jumped ship from Adobe and spent a lot of time boasting about how awesome the software was and how much cheaper it was, feeling a bit stupid now that Capture One have pulled the rug out from under their feet. If the photography subreddits and the comments section on Petapixel and f-stoppers are anything to go by, lots of aggrieved Capture One users are planning on moving back to the Adobe suite. Although how much of that is just venting and how many do actually switch back is of course uncertain. One thing is crystal clear. The days of paying a single price for a bit of software are ending, and it surely won't be long before every application on the planet has a monthly subscription fee. There's always open source software, I suppose, or you know, the other option. I really hope DJI are giving their engineers a bit of time off over the holiday season, because this year they've been working them even harder than the 7 remaining Twitter employees. In 2022, they released the Mavic 3 Classic, the Mini 3 Pro, the RS3 and RS3 Pro gimbals, DJI transmission video system, O3 Air unit, Osmo Action 3, Avata, Osmo Mobile 6, Mavic 3 Enterprise, Mavic 3 Multispectral, and now, just before Christmas, a new consumer drone. Yes, this week DJI released the Mini 3, which they are marketing as a kind of flying smartphone, a device that hides the complexity of aerial photography and video behind consumer-friendly intelligent features such as quick shots. This is a drone pitched squarely at families, a take-anywhere, feel-good gizmo for capturing memories, not erupting Icelandic volcanoes. It is of course the follow-up to the Mini 2 and basically a stripped down version of the Mini 3 Pro. It's very slightly slower than the Mini 3 Pro, has marginally better battery life, the same camera sensor and lens, no sensing systems, and reduced photo and video capabilities. Where the Mini 3 really differs from the Pro version is with those sensing systems. It only has the old downward vision system and therefore no automated detection systems to stop you from flying your new drone into a brick wall or a tree. In terms of photos, it doesn't have the 48 megapixel mode of the Pro, or indeed its 4032 by 3024 12 megapixel mode. It shoots in its own 4000 by 3000 12 megapixel mode. It can only go to ISO 3200 as opposed to the Pro's 6400. And in terms of video, it can shoot up to 30 FPS in 4K as opposed to 60 FPS in 4K on the Pro. It also only shoots in H.264 at 100 megabytes per second as opposed to H.265 and 150 megs a second on the Pro, and it doesn't come with that D-Cine-like video profile. Not that the kind of people that are going to be buying this drone would care much about that. The Mini 3 with that DJI RC controller with the screen on it is on sale for 1,019 Australian, that's 559 US, or 1,378 Australian, that's 718 US, with the Fly More package with the 2 extra batteries, that charging hub, and the horrible shoulder bag you'll never use. Being a sub 250 gram drone is of course free of all drone registration and taxation requirements here in Australia. I'll do one of my smash or pass videos for the Mini 3 very soon, so watch this space. Pixelmator Pro is one of the few high quality photo editors for Mac that is subscription free. Pixelmator have adopted subscription models for their smartphone apps, so they will probably change in the future, but at the moment it's one of the best bargains in the Mac software scene. The recently released Pixelmator Pro 3.2 introduces video editing to the already full-featured application. You can now add and edit video layers just as you would an image layer and output in MP4, QuickTime and animated GIF formats, amongst others. Version 3 of Pixelmator introduced templates, and it seems pretty clear that the developers are pitching their app as an alternative to the kitchen sink cloud services like Canva and Adobe Express. Pixelmator is a surprisingly powerful application with a bunch of machine learning tools under the hood, including enhancement, supersize, denoise, background removal, subject selection, and masking tools. It's also 50% off at the moment, and at just $19.99, well worth adding to your app library. After some initial misgivings, the stock photo libraries are slowly but surely welcoming AI-generated artwork into the fold. Adobe have described their decision to accept AI art as, quote, navigating the creative evolution that generative AI brings, which translates to, we did the business modeling and AI is going to be great for our bottom line. All AI generated artwork will be placed in Adobe's illustration section, so it won't be competing directly with actual photographs. In their announcement, they said that, quote, we believe in transparent, clear labeling for customers when it comes to this content. And to this end, everything generated by services such as Midjourney must be labelled as generative AI. So that's all right then. Now, before you start pumping out the old AI artwork with pithy text prompts, do bear in mind that you need to have the necessary rights to allow Adobe Stock to use the content. So you better double check the old small print on your generative AI service of choice before flooding Adobe's upload servers with computer-generated images of ducks in astronaut spacesuits. Also, bear in mind that this is undoubtedly not a lucrative sideline to pursue, since Adobe will probably be flooded with submissions, but also because anyone can simply generate their own art and cut out the middleman. Remember also that stock libraries like Adobe's exist only to generate money for shareholders and not to adequately remunerate creative types. If you get more than a couple of cents per generative AI illustration you upload, I'd be fucking amazed. And finally, the latest craze to hit TikTok is the iPhone 3GS's camera. The venerable smartphone, originally released 13 years ago, back in 2009, has been experiencing a phoenix-like rebirth among a certain clique of influencers on social media. Always in search of new ways of photographing a plate of smashed avocado in a city cafe, someone decided that the 3 megapixel photos the 3GS produces are lit. Various big name creators on TikTok have been releasing videos showcasing the 3GS and sharing photographs taken on the old smartphone. In one clip shared by Daniel Sin, he compares the iPhone 14 Pro with the 3GS, and the comments section is full of easily led sheep singing the 3GS's praises. I've had a look at the example photographs and was reminded just how far smartphone cameras have come over the last decade. The 3GS photos look every bit as shit as you might imagine for a 13-year-old 3 megapixel device. Low resolution and blurry with poor colour representation and lousy dynamic range. Still, I've probably got my old 3GS sat in a long forgotten drawer somewhere in the house, and if there's some mug of a content creator desperate to jump on this particular hype train, I'll happily flog it to you for $500. Hit me up. Might even throw in my Nokia N95. That one takes really shitty photographs. You'll fucking love it. That'll do us for this week's video, guys. Did you jump ship to Capture One and now regret placing your faith in the company? Do you like the look of the old DJI Mini 3? Let me know in the comments section down there. Please remember to flick me a like and subscribe to my channel for more generalised photography and drone bollocks. Till the next time, guys. Ta-ta.